Well, would you look at that? It's a new year, new chance to start fresh, to change yourself and get the life you always wanted. So, lo and behold, this year I will eat vegetables every day, exercise 3 times a year, write a journal before going to bed, which is a fancy word for having a diary, and read 1 book a month. But we've all been there before. We make big and ambitious resolutions at the beginning of the year, but by February you see it's not going that smooth, and by mid-March you don't even remember what your resolutions were in the first place. But it's the new year, let's have some foolish optimism and try it nonetheless. Welcome to the Communication Couch. It's a funny word, resolution. According to thefreedictionary.com, and trust me, I graduated in English studies using only that dictionary, it means a firm decision to do something. Well, that really is optimistic. But it also means a formal statement of a decision put before by an assembly such as the US Congress. Well, I hope their resolutions are a bit more firm than ours. But the reason I brought up the word itself is because I think it reflects what we might be doing wrong when trying to make long-lasting changes in our lives. So let me just brag a little bit. I recently read a book. Well, actually it was an audiobook that was recommended to me by my great friend, personal trainer, Bernhard Haldum. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear, and as you can guess, it's about habits.
Duh.
And when you think about it, most New Year's resolutions we make are actually that, trying to make new habits or break some old ones. And according to science, motivation and resolution are not the most decisive factors in whether a new behavior becomes a habit or not. The premise of the book is that by making little tiny changes consistently, you can end up having great results. I tried some of the stuff the author suggests, and I can tell you, the man's got a point. So here for you, my friends, are 5 strategies to make better New Year's resolutions based on the book Atomic Habits. Number 1 is make good habits easy and bad habits difficult. If you want to eat more fruit and vegetables, put them on a prominent place in your kitchen where you will always see them. Conversely, if you want to eat less candy, put them away into a cupboard. You see, your environment plays a much bigger role in your habits than you might think. So every time you see a chocolate on the table, your mind has to work hard to resist eating it. And at some point, it will give in. On the other hand, if you always see apples on the table, that will remind you to eat them, and at some point, you will. Hopefully. If you want to go even a step further, make yourself work hard to do things you're trying to avoid. For instance, if you want to cut down on watching Netflix, come up with a really complicated password and don't save it on your computer, so you have to put it in manually every time when you want to watch something. Another piece of advice is that instead of starting very ambitious, for instance that you will work out for 5 days a week for 45 minutes, you should start very small and keep adding continuously. So start with doing 10 minutes of workout. Do just 1 exercise, and then the next time do 15 minutes, next time 20, and you get the point. This is so much better because you don't feel overwhelmed before even starting. You know it's going to be short, you're not going to like it, but it will be over quickly. And then you gradually ramp it up, and you might even start liking it, and soon it will become an automatic habit. The reverse goes for habits you want to avoid. Instead of trying to stop smoking all at once, try gradually reducing how much you smoke every day. Number 3 is that it's better to do little than do nothing. When you don't feel like doing something, strip it down to the very smallest amount of work possible. If you don't feel like reading, make yourself read 1 page and give yourself the full freedom to stop after that. But many times after you've read that 1 page, you'll just continue reading to the number of pages that you originally intended. And even if not, one page is still more than 0 pages.
My God, the man's a genius.
I personally use this trick to floss. I really don't like flossing, but I make myself floss at least the upper row of the teeth, but after I do that, well, I might just as well do the lower one too. Now this one is nice. Make appointment with yourself. Instead of saying, I will meditate more, make specific plans when and where you'll do it. For example, I will meditate for 5 minutes after lunch in the living room. When you approach it like that, you don't leave things to chance and doing it when you feel like it, which is then probably never, but it's like an appointment. You do it just like you would tend to any other appointment. Now the final one is called habit stacking. Connect things you should do but don't feel like doing with activities that you like doing. So for examples, always watch Netflix after a workout. Or you can even only watch Netflix if you're doing it while riding a speed bike. This way, Netflix becomes a motivation for working out, and through time, your brain will associate this unpleasant activity with the pleasant one. Yeah, I know it's 60 years old knowledge, but why haven't you started doing it before then? So, in my opinion and experience, these things can help you tremendously with taking more control over your habits. As the author says, you can set goals, but whether you achieve those goals or not depends on what you do daily. It depends on your habits, or as he calls them, systems. So, for instance, my personal goal is to have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, I know it's a long-term goal, but the system that I put together to achieve that goal is to publish at least one video every single week. And to also tell you in each one of those videos that you should consider becoming one of those subscribers. And generally, I am a sucker for the New Year's optimism and New Year's resolutions. My burnout is better, by the way, thanks for asking. Yeah, 2020 is over, yet it's still a weird time. We don't know how much longer it will take, but at least we have control over these little things. Plus, I'm also trying to cut down on my bitching about 2020 and, everything. It's definitely true that what you do every day shapes the life you live and the person you are. So let's take control of it. Let's shape our lives consciously. We've got one life. Make the most of it. Okay, I don't know where that came from. Oh, by the way, I got this new idea. Every time at the end of a video, I'm begging you guys to write some comments saying, oh, I'm interested in your opinion. Let me know what your resolutions are. And you don't comment anyway. So let me try something else. Let's have a little game. Have you ever played 2 truths, 1 lie? So basically, I tell you 3 things about me. 2 of them are lies and 1 of them is true. So you guess which one is true in the comments. Next week, I'll say what the answer was, and everyone who gets it right will get free access to one of my video courses. And I'll send you a virtual high five. So here they are. A, I can play the Star Wars theme on a synthesizer. B, I was once a model on a fashion show. And C, I used to train kickboxing. So let me know what you think is true. Thanks for watching and see you next week. Oh, no, what do I usually say? Yeah, thank you and have a great day. No, it's supposed to sound different, right? Thank you and have a great... Now I get it. Thank you and have a great day. Now I got it right, yeah?